Saturday, getting close to noon. Gonna be leaving in about 6 hours to head due north up to Lake Superior, the south shore of Lake Superior. Pretty stoked about it. The weather has turned horrible up there. Maybe not to people that live in the UP here. It's calling for a high of like 45 degrees, about a 75% chance of rain. That seems like it's pretty cold. Not only that, but it's blowing about 25 miles an hour. What you gonna do? I actually got up this morning, looked at the forecast again. It just seems to be deteriorating every day, just a little bit more. That's kind of the way it goes. But you know what? I got to thinking that, I'm going to go up there, even if I spend a day or two there on 12 Mile Beach. I want to go up there and just say hello to Miss Superior, kind of take some film footage, and if it's just too cold, too miserable to stay around, then I may head out and explore somewhere different on the way home. Glad you came along. Let's go on up there to Lake Superior. I didn't go last year, so it's been a couple years since I've been up there, and I'm really excited to walk the beach, 12 Mile Beach. Let's go. Old Jazz was gonna go, but decided, especially with the weather being so bad, as cold as it's gonna be, and a couple other issues popped up, that I think old Jazz is gonna stay home. Okay, Jazz? You just stay home this time. When I get back, we'll go camping, okay? All right. Yep. Yeah, get you a good stretch in there, buddy. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Sounds good. All right on time, 6 p.m., heading out from southern Indiana all the way to Lake Superior. Roughly about 800 miles distance. Hey, glad you came along. Hope you packed your warm clothes and your rain gear, because it's going to be one chilly, wet week coming up. But that's okay. As adventurers, we know how to deal with that, right? Okay. Let's go up to Gitsigume, Lake Superior. Oh, yeah. Somewhere about 8 o'clock in the morning, ended up pulling over at Angola Walmart. Got about 5 hours of sleep, got back up. It's really nice having the Montana the way it is. The bed's all set up back there, so I really just pull in, and within 5 minutes I've got my head on the pillow, crashed out for about 5 hours, and now I'm on my way to the Mackinac Bridge and beyond. He was going 78 miles an hour. When he hit that wall, they had it clearly marked, and man, that thing was tall. There must have been something going on in his head. He hit the wall doing 78, and now he's dead. Well, I'll tell you what, I've definitely hit the conversion zone right here. Man, it went from very little wind to strong wind, blowing to Montana all over the place. So here we go. We're about an hour away from the Mackinac Bridge, maybe even a little bit less. High warning wind signs up. So I'm going to pull over at Mackinac City. I'm going to clean my windows off, and then we're going to go across the mighty Mac and take the whole drive across. If you haven't done it, it is beautiful. made it to the Mackinac Bridge here in Mackinac City. Gonna get out here and do a little filming on it for a second. It's brutally cold, high winds. It's to what's to be expected. This is the bridge into the UP right here. Once you cross this bridge, you'll be in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Woo! To show you on the Mackinac Bridge. See those beams right there? All the holes that had to be drilled in them to be bolted together. My dad did that when he got out of high school. That was one of his first jobs. Actually, he went to college for 1 year, then he went to the steel mills in Gary, Indiana to work. That was his job, to mark out those right there in order for them to be drilled out and bolted and brought here and bolted together. I don't know if you can hear me talking or not. The wind is so loud. Good job, Daddy-O. That's the Mighty Mac Bridge right there. 5 miles across. If you've never been across it, put it on your bucket list. It's one of the greatest achievements in American ingenuity. Right there. Mighty Mac Bridge. Completed in 1957. One of my favorite all-time drives, crossing the Mighty Mac Bridge. exciting stop there at the Mackinac Bridge. I'm not sure with that high winds if you could hear what I was talking about when I was filming the actual underneath the bridge, but my dad got out of high school. He played football for college for a year, and then he actually went on up to the steel mills and worked in Gary, Indiana. That's where he met my mom. Happily ever after married for 65 plus years. His dad's job at the steel mills, American Bridge. I think it was American Bridge Steel Mill. Dad's job was when those big beams came by, he laid them out and he marked them where they needed to be drilled. And you can see on that one joint that I was filming that you'd have to be pretty precise because a lot of boats go into just one joint like that. Anyways, pretty proud of Dad. He's never seen the Mackinac Bridge. I'd like to bring him up here sometime. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to keep on trying, keep on asking him, see if he wants to take the long drive up here. So right now I am in the UP of Michigan. I am heading toward, I'm about an hour and a half away from 12 Mile Beach. Pretty excited about it. It's pretty cold, pretty windy, and I noticed some rain is starting to hit my windshield a little bit, but hey, I'm ready to go. Yeah, it's cool things like that right there that I really like to see when I travel around. UP, pretty nice. When I first started coming up to the UP decades and decades ago, most of the roads were just like this. It's just a packed sand road, but through the years they've paved quite a few of it. M58 has really been done well. Beautiful highway now. But a lot of people say it makes them mad because they feel that that's what brought in so many people. Hey, there's a pheasant back there. That was cool. Yeah, H58, the highway I'm getting ready to go on that goes to Picture Rocks, that goes to 12 Mile Campground, used to be sand just like this years and years ago. But a lot of people kind of got upset about that, and I've heard kind of some of the locals say, yeah, well, that's when now it's got 1 million visitors a year rather than a few 100,000, or not even that much, you know, years and years ago. I don't know, I kind of like it. It's a beautiful highway. Woo, very nice. That was interesting. The park ranger was right behind those guys. Those four-wheelers have gotten so fast and so radical, I'm not sure how they feel about them running these highways up here like this. They've really taken over. There are a lot of them out here. Just then I passed Grand Sable Lake, and once you pass the big lake there, basically cell service is non-existent. So as you drive on down here, it's about another probably 10 miles, 12 miles to 12 Mile Campground. It's kind of weird because now I am officially off grid. So that's kind of crazy. on 9/10, I was camping here. So into the morning, 9/11, I was actually camping on 12 Mile Beach Campground. Drove into town mid-morning and walked into a little bar, and that's when I found out. They had the television sets on and they showed the towers burning, and it was just a mess, and the waitress came up and she was crying about it. So, but when you come out here off the grid, it's like crazy, but it's off the grid. So here's always been the issue to me about 12 Mile Campground since they started reserving it, is I'm driving through here and I know it's at least 50% vacant, maybe even 75% vacant. It's kind of weird. It's like, you know, the weather's going to turn bad, so everybody has decided to book out of here. And yet all these sites are sitting here, yet you can't reserve any of them because according to the computer, they're all paid for still. It's the way it always has been since they started reserving it. Like this 19 right here. That 19 right there is available. And so that's where I'm going to park. And if somebody shows up and kicks me off of it, well, I'll just go to another campsite. Like here's the one that I really like that I've used for years, and it doesn't show anybody on it either. Is the one site that I do have for tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday, and today is Sunday. There's somebody there. Go figure. Oh well. Now these sites back here in the back, now see they're a little bit isolated from the wind, and so I can see why these people are wanting to grab these back here, you know, because of that reason there. So you can kind of get a good idea now why I just brought the 2004 Pontiac Montana instead of bringing either my Gazelle tent. I could have brought the 1985 Coleman Sun Valley, but there's no way. In winds like this, it would probably have trashed it. I do have a video, and I brought it up here one time, and I got hit by gale force winds, which was almost 60, 70 mile an hour winds. But that was so hard to tie it down and keep it from getting ripped up. And when I think back, I probably should have vacated the lot by then before that big wind hit, because that was almost pressing the limits. You know, every once in a while you can go to that danger zone, but you got to be careful doing it because eventually it's going to bite you. It's nice and warm inside the Montana right now. I don't have it running or anything. If it gets too bad, you know, I can always turn the key and warm it up a little bit. You can see I've got an excellent view here, especially from this number 19. And I got a feeling the next couple of days there's going to be nobody here. I'd be surprised if anybody's here tomorrow. There'll be a few people. Like I see a little Volkswagen bus over here with a pop-up on it. It might be a Toyota, but they've been here before and they'll probably hang out here, I would imagine. But everybody else, if they haven't never been here, this is their first experience, they're gone. They don't want nothing to do with this. But it's pretty nice. The Montana works perfect for a situation like this. Okay, so I'll show you right now why why it is 75% vacant, even though it's all paid for. This is why. Watch this wind. And now, picture this tomorrow and Tuesday with it also raining on top of this. Here we go. Now you got to admit, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful out here. But, my goodness, you can see that unless you were in a camper, if you had a tent, it'd get shredded unless it was a four-season tent, probably. Look at the beautiful wave. Wow. Oh my gosh, this whole bank is almost destroyed. It's almost straight up and down. Wow. It's been 2 years since I've been here. I haven't seen any of this damage. That's incredible. Look at this walkway I used to use. I used to use this walkway all the time. Damage is being done to this shoreline. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't have I got long underwear on. Well, I don't have my windproof. And it is cold. So I'm going to go ahead and eat some lunch. I'm getting very, very hungry. This here is site number 25. I'm parked on site 25. And you can see it's gorgeous. It is a gorgeous site, but even it has washed away so bad. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh, you figure in that wind chill? Whoa. Man, holy cow. But boy, it's a nice view. just constant blowing, probably, I would guess, about 30, at least 30. Still on there, and I tried to put the tripod down low and kneel so I could hold the tripod steady, and the sand, because this bank is so steep now, the sand is just blowing straight up, hitting and blowing straight up, so there's a good chance you get sand in your eyes if you're not real careful. Wow, pretty intense out here. Yeah, it's very hard to stand anywhere close to the edge because that sand is coming up there so sharp. I think I might have got sand in this eye right here. I'm going to have to be careful about that. That's not a good thing at all. Not on a day like today. Okay, I've decided this is the strongest I've ever felt this wind. This is way more than 30 miles an hour. It's actually very hard to even stand up. It's incredible how strong this wind is. You know, these pine trees right here, these were just broke off. Yeah, I don't remember that sand blowing like that any other years I've ever been here. It's got to be because that bank is so steep now. It's just blasting up in the air and kind of like spinning through the air. Like even right now when I'm walking, I feel that sand blasting me on the side of the face right here. This is where I used to sit every year, right here, in this area. I guess I can still try to scramble right down through here and go down there. Might as well give it a shot. What do you think? Want to go? You know, with the rain coming in, I don't know how many days I'm going to be able to even get down there. So I think we better scramble on down there right now and see if we can get some footage down there. What do you say? Let's go. That is so steep. Unbelievable how steep that is. Hey, look, there's somebody down on the beach. I'm shocked. Not the only one crazy enough to come out on a day like this. Look at all the rocks. Oh my God. This bank at the trees. Get ready to give way. Wow. That's incredible. There's the boardwalk, the stairs that used to come down. Wow. Hey, the sun, the sun, the sun down. Point for a minute. Last time I was here, that tree right here, all along this whole campground, we're going to start falling down the bank, eventually get washed down into the big lake. It's happening. Look at the size of that tree. You know, that tree's probably 25, 30, 40, 50 years old. Here. What are you going to do? Storms are getting bigger, winds getting stronger, water's getting higher. Even this beach isn't as big as it used to be. It's weird. You know, if you look, I'm going to have a hard time even hiking down through there. It looks to me like there's going to be places where I'm going to have to go into the woods just to get around, even on the straight part. I'd like to know when all this happened. Did it happen in one giant storm, or did it continue? Is it continued on through a couple of years? You know, it's going to be hard to hike this beach. You know, you used to be able to walk right down through there with no trouble. Now you're going to have to zigzag through all these trees, I guess. That's crazy. Don't think there's a whole lot that can be done about stuff like this. You know, I have often walked down this beach and I've come to the conclusion that yes, the climate is changing, but you know what? It's been changing since the beginning of this earth. Since the beginning of this world, from its creation, it's been changing. And maybe as humans, we're doing something right now, but who knows? As humans, we may not be here much longer. Another 100 years, maybe at the most. And then the world's going to continue to change for another billion years. I don't know. Trips like this, especially solo trips, that's what I do. I think. It is beautiful here. And you know, the way I look at it is those trees, it's a shame that they've died and they've fallen, but they're going to get covered with sand, they're going to get covered with rocks, and this shoreline will continue to move south, and the lake will continue to come on in. Beautiful, beautiful Lake Superior. All her magic. And I don't hold it against her one bit that these trees are all being killed like that. No. It's not her fault. She's wild, she's free. You give her some room, she's gonna move. That's all there is to it. maybe a new start.